Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So for the past week, Stephen Amell and the CW have been dropping a whole bunch of Arrow Season 3 bombs. We know about 4 new characters, including some new details about the Harley Quinn character as it relates to the Suicide Squad in Season 3. So I'm going to be doing a breakdown of all that stuff. Hello to all the new people who are just finding me for the first time. I hope you guys are having a great summer, but I'm going to be doing DC and Marvel bonus videos every week, especially for the TV shows and the movies that are going to be happening in the fall. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. Feel free to leave me suggestions for any bonus videos if there's something that you guys really want to talk about. Speaking of which, let's talk about some of those new Arrow characters. So these are all based on network descriptions that the CW has released. So some of these are a little bit silly just because they're official news releases. It's not like someone speaking to you. But here is the first one. His name is Daniel. Daniel is a handsome, enigmatic, and highly intelligent entrepreneur developing groundbreaking technology. Then in quotation marks it says, "Picture a businessman with Ryan Gosling's body," which I think is kind of silly. Though exuding charm and confidence in public, he privately harbors a tragic past that will drive him to become a tech-powered superhero. Watch out for this formidable fella to become a love interest for Felicity and a rival of Oliver's, both personally and professionally. So this is a pretty big deal, and right now he's just screaming the Daniel Garrett version of the Blue Beetle. That's the Golden Age version of the character. He first appeared in comics in 1939 in Mystery Men. He wasn't like the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, he was a police officer that took a serum to make him super strong and wore a bulletproof costume whenever he fought crime. So that doesn't sound exactly like the casting description that they released. So it's possible that they're taking aspects of that character like the name and combining him with the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, or they're just using the Daniel name to throw people off and it really will be Ted Kord because Kord Industries is a really big deal on Arrow. They're the ones that made that mega centrifuge that Slade stole to mass produce the Mirakuru, and Queen Industries' research department has been doing business with them for a long time. Ted Kord could also be one of the ways that Oliver gets his company back too. He's one of the few other DC superheroes that has a ton of money. If you guys aren't familiar with the character or you didn't see him on Smallville, he's like a Hank Pym type character, not quite up to the level of Tony Stark or Bruce Wayne in terms of wealth and popularity, but he still has a really massive company. The Ted Kord of the comics was a little bit of a sillier superhero. He did have an ongoing relationship with Barbara Gordon when she was Oracle. His version of the Blue Beetle was never able to unlock the powers of the Scarab. That was something that Jamie Rya's character did after he took up the mantle. Remember, DC tried to do a pilot for that TV show a long time ago. So once upon a time, there was going to be a Blue Beetle TV show on the CW, but the pilot never made it to series. Looking at the origin of that character might offer some clues about the villain this season too. Ted Kord became the Blue Beetle after Daniel Garrett died in battle. They were investigating Ted Kord's uncle, Jarvis Kord. He was trying to build an army of androids to take over the world. Arrow has a long history of changing characters' backstories and just kind of mixing and matching things from the comic books, so don't be surprised if they take aspects of the Daniel Garrett Blue Beetle and Ted Kord and combine them, but I do expect that we will see imagery for the Scarab. The cool thing about them developing the Blue Beetle character on the show and having Amanda Waller is now they have a backdoor to Maxwell Lord and Checkmate. Smallville did Checkmate already, so Arrow might wait a little while before doing their version of it, but it's another big organization that will definitely make an appearance at some point, at least in a future season. The funny thing about this is that I can already see the Daniel Felicity Tumbler ships sailing. I can only imagine how that's going to affect all the Felicity shippers. I feel for you guys. I feel for you. It seems like the Flash TV show is going to be pushing the Barry-Iris relationship, so it makes sense that Arrow would start pushing for Daniel and Felicity, or Felicity with someone else. I've got my fingers crossed that he actually ends up joining Team Arrow by the mid-season finale, just like Barry Allen did. Just in case it's not Blue Beetle, there are a couple other possibilities for who that character could be. Daniel could be Mr. Terrific, or he could be Daniel Cassidy, aka the Blue Devil, as we saw on the bus in Season 2. But none of those characters fit the description as well as Blue Beetle, Ted Kord, or Daniel Garrett, so I'm going to stick with that. He is Blue Beetle. Remember, in Season 2, Isabel Rochev was Ravager without being Rose Wilson, so Arrow does change things. The second new character is named Seth, and here's the network character description. A well-educated criminal with grand ambitions and a knack for chemistry, this potentially recurring character gains power over his enemies by exposing them to a drug that drains their willpower. Oh, and he is very much a physical match for the Arrow. So the closest people that sounds like are the Scarecrow and Parasite, but because the Jonathan Crane Scarecrow character was never really a physical match for any of the other big superheroes in the DC universe, and because the Parasite isn't really someone who uses chemistry, it could be someone completely different or an original creation of the show. Based on the description, it sounds like he's going to occupy that villain position in the story that Brother Blood had in Season 2. Like the villain that we see first, but then later a bigger villain emerges from the shadows. The next two characters are both Hong Kong flashback characters, or at least characters that we'll mostly see in Hong Kong flashbacks, named Tashi and Akiko. Here's the character descriptions. Tashi will serve as Oliver's teacher and handler, and eventually become a friend. A well-trained operative, skilled in weaponry, combat, and intelligence gathering, he is also a devoted father and husband. Akiko is his wife and another of Oliver's Hong Kong caretakers, and herself highly skilled in martial arts. So Tashi sounds like he might be an original creation of the show, like a prequel version of Diggle. It's possible that those characters will be the inspiration for the modern day version of Team Arrow. A lot of superheroes like Batman tend to work alone. Oliver chooses to work with a team for a reason, so the Hong Kong flashbacks this season will probably explain why that is. The Akiko character is a little bit more exciting because she could potentially be Lady Shiva, which I know everyone has been asking about this year, or Katana. The Katana character just got a new comic book series that launched around the same time the new Vibe comic launched, and that character is a regular on the Flash TV show. So Katana also appears in the New 52 version of the Birds of Prey comic, which Blue Beetle has also appeared in. Not New 52, but the Blue Beetle has been in Birds of Prey previously. We already know that Arrow is going to be doing more Birds of Prey stories in Season 3, so I'm going to stick with Katana as being the best choice for this Akiko character. And just because those two characters are flashback characters doesn't mean we will not see them in present day. I've got my fingers crossed for a present day Hong Kong or China trip, because they did go to Russia in Season 2. So here's a big update on Harley Quinn as it relates to the Suicide Squad in Season 3. Stephen Amell was at Phoenix Comic Con recently, and he said that he's really hoping to get Harley Quinn out of her cell in Season 3 and on the Suicide Squad. It sounds like the show is going to try and use her if everything behind the scenes works out. Part of the issue with them using comic book characters is that they have to get clearance from Warner Brothers. They can't just cast Batman or Nightwing or anyone they want without getting approval, even though Warner Brothers owns Arrow the show, the characters, and the network that it airs on. It's a bit of a mess, but if Stephen Amell is bugging them behind the scenes, there's a much better chance that it's going to happen. Cassidy Alexa, for those who don't know, played her on screen, played Harley Quinn on screen, and Tara Strong did the voice for her. It was like a Darth Vader thing where you have an actor playing the body and someone else doing the voice. Stephen Amell said this funny thing that when it comes to TV, if it looks good, it has a much better chance of happening, and I think that everyone agreed that Cassidy Alexa's version of Harley Quinn was pretty awesome. So I'm expecting to hear more about it at Comic-Con. In production-related news, Arrow Season 3 starts shooting 3 weeks from today, so hopefully once they start filming outdoor scenes, we'll get a look at some of those new characters. But I'll be doing bonus videos every week from now till Season 3 comes, so be sure to subscribe to get everything, and feel free to leave me suggestions for bonus topics if there's something that you guys really want to talk about. In other DC news, Jason Momoa is supposedly going to be Aquaman in the Batman vs. Superman movie. It's not confirmed, so I wasn't planning on doing a video. There was a bunch of details leaked about the plot of Avengers 2, so that's probably going to be the next video I do. Supposedly a bunch of the plot leaked, so I'll be putting a bunch of spoiler warnings whenever I do that video. I'll try and post that by tonight. Right now, click here to learn more about Arrow Season 3, and click here to learn more about Avengers 2. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. High vibes.